Outrage. Why are you outraged?
Because this place was, like you said, it's free. It was a place for our children. I have 4 children, and it's sad. You know, I have 4 boys, you know, and we really don't have nothing in the community that's free for us. Don't get me wrong. It's great that they want to help the immigrants, but what about the Americans that are already here?
It's just been a disaster. Washington Park, middle-class black neighborhood, we're still pushing back. We don't want them here. The crime rate has gone up since they've been here. That's a fact. Nobody wants to talk about it, but we live it every day.
What policies would you like to see in place that would limit the amount of people that are there?
Well, listen, there are policies on the book in Congress already. They need to enforce the laws that are already on.
Creep on in, on in, on in. Who's the last one? Hold on. Blue punch on. He's right here. That's what I'm telling you. Hold on. Bro, he just said hold on. Back up, bro. You still walking in. Hold on.
Yo, he just told you to hold on. Now you gotta wait, bro. You're not coming in. No.
That's all.
More than 200 African migrants have scaled the border fence into the Spanish enclave of Melilla. It's the biggest assault on the border in more than 8 years. The new arrivals, many from Cameroon and Guinea, headed towards the Migrant Reception Centre, celebrating touching European soil. The latest incursion at Melilla brings the number of migrants who've successfully scaled the fence to almost 600 so far this year.
Yes, ma'am. I got a question. This is a non-emergency line, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm sitting here. I'm riding on the trail going to my orientation for my job today, and I see a group of Haitian people. There was about 4 of them. They all had geese in their hand. They got away. I couldn't make out the first 3 of the license plate, but I got the numbers.
Clark County Communications.
Yes, ma'am. I got a question. This is a non-emergency line, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm sitting here. I'm riding on the trail going to my orientation for my job today, and I see a group of Haitian people. There was about 4 of them. They all had geese in their hand. They got away. I couldn't make out the first 3 of the license plate, but I got the numbers.
These people are here illegally. Again, they're not seeking asylum. If they were seeking asylum, they would have gone to the first country that would have granted them asylum, which would have been Mexico. What I would like to see them do, if they're here illegally, they need to go back to their country of origin, and that's immediately.
You know, one of the biggest things that I really cannot stand about some of the people in my neighborhood, in my community, or even on the internet, is when it comes to real topics, black people always are the last at the totem pole and have no clue of what's going on. Literally, our Chicago mayor has allowed our city to be overran by migrants. Migrants that have been dropped off in black and brown communities. The North Side don't look like this. The North Side police stations do not look like this. Yet, people who look like me, your concern is about fucking Will and Jada. People who have no clue who you are or give a fuck about you. But you so focused with them while your rights are being taken away. You are the weakest link.
Many know about slavery, but few discuss paper genocide. We did not all come from Africa, and most of us have Aboriginal roots that were stripped away due to reclassification and miseducation. As a native Black American and a member of the Muskogee Creek Nation, I understand the importance of tracing your lineage. If you want to learn how to trace your genealogy and apply for tribal citizenship, send an email to mike@keymediapro.com to schedule a consultation.
They don't want you to remember this. You not no slave, you indigenous. Fuck how they painted them Indians. You went to war with the French and the British. Man, quite frankly, you was kings, Merovingians. They took the women and men, made them prisoners, raised up the children to worship their images, set up a lab to the genes and they mixed them, and this shit get way deeper than your pigment.
The migrant crisis has exacerbated the poverty problem and the limit to resources that the people who have been desperately starving for and waiting online, they've expedited them, prioritized them, and we're just saying no.
Well, you should follow protocol, process, and procedure. I'm a natural born and my husband are natural born United States citizens. And as it says in American Express, membership has its privileges. And right now, these, I will not call them migrants, border busters, okay, are getting everything over us. And most of them are violent, okay. This is by design from the administration, the old Biden administration. Just having the door open. Everybody knows if you want to keep your place safe, you close and lock your door.
Use that program, they should use it for the residents who are already here. Nothing against the migrants, I just have people here on the asylum seeking, but certain things in the South.
Well, the migrant crisis in New York City, I have a problem with due to the fact that many of the resources that they're getting is taken away from communities such as mine.
I feel still that the migrant crisis, it is out of control. I feel still that the mayor, according to today, should have made some type of major pronouncement throughout the general public to let us know that he did not have any power to control the migrant situation, because a lot of us are thinking that he had power to control it, but he has absolutely no power to control it, and it's gotten way out of hand.
I believe it is overpowering. It is a lot for one mayor in every city that these buses has been coming into. Sure, everyone should have a home, everyone should have shelter, but it has to be it has to be equally divided. Okay.
I call it the illegal immigration invasion. They're not migrants. It's disgusting.
But under the POC coalition that the Democrats like to push us under, we get the short end of the stick every time.
What is really going on here? What's going on here? What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing over here? Why are you guys in line here? What the fuck is going on?
It hinders Black Americans when you have massive immigration and illegal immigration. For the people that did migrate here the correct way, y'all don't feel some type of way of somebody just coming over here, kind of getting in quicker than you did?
Nope, because I like my strawberries at $3.
Because immigrants have built this country.
No.
I know.
No,
and like anti-immigration goes way, way back.
Not. Black people
goes way
built
back.
This nation.
Like even in the 1800s, 1900s,
we was here.
They always hated immigrants. They always blamed everything on immigrants. But America has needed immigrants. America is what it is because they keep bringing immigrants to this country.
But we're not gonna say immigrants built this country. They did not.
They did.
When did they come here?
Most of the railroad tracks were built by Chinese immigrants who came here in the 1800s and the 1700s. When people say immigrants did not build this country, most of the United States were immigrants because Texas was part of Mexico until we got annexed by America. The Louisiana Purchase, where French was in Louisiana, those were immigrants. That's why they speak Creole. When you go up to Washington, all those places were built by immigrants. So when black people are saying, well, we are the foundation and we built everything, it's like, yes, the majority of things. But you cannot at the same point then push out all those other immigrants who came in here and say that they're not important. Because this country was built as a collective.
Immigrants played a part in building the country.
It was built as a...
Italians were immigrants. The Chinese were immigrants.
Right.
Everybody that came here, besides the people that were brought here by slave ships, were immigrants.
Wait, technically that's forced
and this
immigration?
is...
I started looking at how other blacks in America, non-Native Americans, perform in the same context. Now, I'm Nigerian, and a lot of people don't like Nigerians. But a lot of the data, whether it's in Canada, US, UK, wherever you go, black immigrant communities, especially Nigerians, tend to outperform,
crush the game,
everybody else.
Killing the game, like outperforming white people.
Oh boy, guys, here we go. Let me go ahead and cue it up because the Africans are getting to lying again.
I wonder if you know that I know he's lying right now. Oh, you got the new Margellas? That's what's up. I see you. That's your BMW? That's nice. That's your girl? Golly. Okay, I see you. But I just want to know one thing. You ready? Why the fuck you lying?
Come on, guys, come on. These African migrants, especially the African ones, because I don't really hear this false superiority complex from the Asian migrants or the Mexican migrants or the South American migrants, but these greasy ass Africans, they got the nerve to come over here, flee en masse to our homeland, and then claim that they're smarter and brighter and more successful than its native inhabitants. If you got it popping so much, then why don't you go back to Africa? Why don't you want to stay in Africa? You got a whole African continent with dozens of African countries, and you want to be over here in my home while claiming that you're smarter and better than me? Oh, no. It's time for them to pack up, y'all. 1-800, we call it nice.
People, they're still, I think, numerically the smaller number, but outperforming other locally born black Americans.
That's right.
I was like, there's a conversation to be had here.
Air Force are looking to immigrants to overcome recruiting shortfalls. They've ramped up their marketing, including on social media, to entice legal immigrants to enlist. They're also using recruiters with similar backgrounds to appeal to potential recruits. But the biggest draw for migrants is the promise of a fast track to citizenship, plus jobs and education benefits. Both the Army and the Air Force have said they will not meet their recruiting goals this year.
Hey, yo. Don't say we haven't been one of y'all. We've been one of y'all for a long time. You know what I'm saying? What's about the man? You know what I'm saying? Ever since these Democrats got back into power, y'all that voted for Joe Biden. Black people, y'all voted for Joe Biden. This is what you get. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, now we have military age men coming over, you know what I'm saying, get recruited by the Army. You know what I'm saying? And when shit hit the fan, if martial law comes, guess what? These migrants don't have no loyalty to this country. So they're going to treat you any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? That's just one aspect of it. Also, another aspect of it, too, is the Democratic Party want to replace the black people, you know what I'm saying? So they're going to create a whole new voter class to get you niggas out the way. They say, okay, y'all have done enough. We have used and abused y'all. Get the fuck out of our way. We don't need you no more, you know what I'm saying? Because now you know what I'm saying, we have a new group of people, you know what I'm saying, that's going to do our bidding.
He says, no, I'm saying one more time. Oh, my God. Brother, I get it. You're passionate. I respect you shedding light on these issues. But can you expand your vocabulary? Please, can you expand your vocabulary? Man, if he says, no, I'm saying one more time, I'm going to lose it.
And it's going to vote for us, and we're going to get them all the trinkets that they need, you know what I'm saying, to make sure they vote for us and make you, black people, a permanent underclass and get you out the way, while at the same time moving them into your communities, and you ain't going to do nothing about it.
No,
so now you're going to become a permanent underclass, and they're going to replace you, you know what I'm saying, as a voter class, because they're kicking you to the curb, and they're going to use these new migrants, you know what I'm saying, for the new voter class. So you're done for. You know what I'm saying? So this should be a wake up call for black people. You voted for Joe Biden. You voted for Democratic. You want to open borders. Now they overtaking your communities. They all in Chicago. They all over. Chicago is just a tipping point. But they're going to go to every community. Don't think it's sweet, because they coming to every major city, every black community. They coming to take over your communities, even though they ain't putting them people in the Hispanic communities in America. Think about that. All right.
I think I'm frustrated with all of it, all the way down from the president. I'll tell you why. Because the president could have stopped it. This should not be on the backs of the people here and draining our resources.
That's just one of the powerful voices, one black resident in Chicago who's had enough of Joe Biden's migrant crisis. And she's not alone. Another Chicagoan is telling the Free Press, quote, this is Kata Trust, quote, there's a humanitarian crisis in the black community, but every time we have a need in our community, we're told that there are no funds. There's no money for us.
Now they're suing to stop a local field house from becoming a shelter for illegal migrants. Here now the author of the article, the Free Press staff writer, Olivia Reingold. Olivia, good to see you. Thanks for being with us. So tell us more about what you learned on this issue, on the migrants in Chicago as part of your story.
Well, first, a positive update, which is the city of Chicago. I asked them for comment. They said they have officially backed off of their plans to convert this field house into a migrant shelter. But what did I learn on this story? I learned that these are all people, these are all lifelong Democrats. You know, I spoke to a former Obama intern, someone who grew up canvassing for the NAACP, pro-reparations voters. And these are people who feel completely betrayed by the Democratic Party and would like to be Democrats, but just cannot get behind what they stand for these days, especially on immigration.
This evening, I had a consultation, a genealogy consultation to figure out my Native American ancestry. And I was given a lot of valuable information this evening, from the origin of the tribes to the different ethnic breakdown to how everything was ran and colonized before, you know, the discovery of Columbus, and after, you know, after he came over here. So I think that you will find the value in the information as I did.
I want to fully recognize that we are all profoundly pale people. And we're talking about this issue that is impacting the black community in Chicago, but it impacts everyone in this nation. And I think that that's the point of your article. In New Hampshire, the voter analysis has come out just like in Iowa. Number one issue is immigration. It is a wide open border. But do they understand that in order to reverse this devastating policy that is at everyone's doorstep, they have to vote differently in these national elections? This is not about Brandon Johnson. This is about Joe Biden and all of his cronies.
I am not quite sure that everyone gets that quite yet. I think that there are two camps. I think that there are people, everyone is definitely certain that they are not going to vote for the same Democratic leaders again locally. But nationally, probably only about half of people say, I'm going to sit the presidential election out. And I did even speak to a few people who, in a matter of months, went from, you know, full-blown Democrats to now Trump voters.
I think it's fascinating that they say, you know, you always tell us when we need something, we need some help, that there's never any money. But all of a sudden, all of this money is flowing to migrants and how far they'll go for non-citizens. But when your own people are struggling, there's no cash.
That's exactly right. You know, I looked into the placement of these shelters throughout Chicago, and they actually do seem to be somewhat evenly distributed, but in Black communities, they say it stings so much more because they're seeing schools that were shuttered for them, health clinics that were shuttered for them, miraculously reopened, and, you know, showers that haven't run in years are being repaired overnight. All of these improvements are being made for migrants and not, you know, their own citizens.
Outrage. Why are you outraged?
Because this place was, like you said, it's free. It was a place for our children. Our children, I have 4 children, and it's sad. You know, I have 4 boys, you know, and we really don't have nothing in the community that's free for us. Don't get me wrong, it's great that they want to help the immigrants, but what about the Americans that are already here? What about the people that are already here that don't have homes, that don't have jobs, that are sleeping on the street already? These people came from the airport here, probably on boats, probably on buses, and probably all for free. Now they're getting stipends, they're getting what else? I need money for me and my kids, and I was born here. Like, you know, I know life is a struggle in itself, but this is not the answer to help them. Now it's going to destroy our community more and mess our children up more. Like, this is sad. I know a lot of people don't even know about this. I came here last night with my aunt, saw a lot of stadies, a lot of police, and this paper wasn't there yet. They just did this probably 2, 3 in the morning when they brung them here. When everybody's asleep, that's when they brung them here probably. On buses, I saw New York plates. I saw Washington, D.C. plates. So they have that much money to come from Washington, D.C. to do this, to do that. Why are they not helping the people here first?
Yes, ma'am. We
need help.
Let's talk to one of the counselors.
Yes.
Aaron, Ms. Murphy, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
When you hear the passion right here from...
That's what I hear in my office all the time. And it is a balance. Like I was telling you earlier, the state owns this building, so the governor has to make a decision on where to put the overflow migrants. But at the same time, the community needs to make sure that their services, that we keep their services in place.
Why would they declare Boston as a sanctuary city?
I mean, I think a lot of cities across this country are, once they declare themselves a sanctuary city, I'm not sure if they knew the amount of support we were going to need to give.
Was that, I know you're a Democrat, but do you think declaring cities as sanctuaries was a mistake in retrospect?
Looking back, if our communities end up losing the services they need to live full lives, I think we may be questioning that. We do have to find a balance to make sure that these migrant families have a safe place to go, but at the same time, my concern, I'm an elected official here, I represent the whole city, and I'm the chair of public health in the last 2 years in homelessness, and I've centered my advocacy and policy on making sure that every resident has the resources they need. And I'm hearing that seniors and kids, like Effie was just telling us, that her own family, right, might be disrupted. So I'm making sure that the city is stepping up and connecting with all the departments so that these displaced, you know, residents who use this every day.
Let's bring Keisha back in here. Keisha, you hear that from your counselor. What do you want done right now?
You know, like she said, we want to help them, but at the same time, what about us that need help here? What about, you know, I'm a mother and I have 4 children. You know, they need help. They need somewhere to go. They need something to do.
What type of activities used to be in this building?
Skating ring, exercising, you know, like a place where you can just go chill and stay out of trouble. Now we have to find other places.
What's going to be the consequence of this being changed and just to migrants? Where are those kids going to go right now?
Probably to the streets. To the streets. Where most of them are already at. You know, like when we look for help, it seems like the state and the governor and them people, they push us away. They want to turn our children to animals. They want our children to be bad and F up. Yeah. We want better for our community, but this right here is going to be a shit show and it's going to be crazy.
Thank you so much,
This is going to be crazy.
When you hear people say that we should be softer on border security, what do you have to say about that?
We should be softer?
You know, when they say that we should be welcoming to people that are coming in illegally and getting all these benefits, what do you have to say to that?
Well, first of all, the people coming here illegally, so that's a crime. We need to be harder on immigration, not softer.
Can you tell me about your neighborhood and what you've seen living here in Chicago?
It's just been a disaster. They started off putting the immigrants over in the police station. And as they started to move them out of the police station, they stealthily started to put them in our neighborhoods. Well, the neighborhood didn't want them. The residents, the citizens, we pushed back, but the deal was already done. And so they were bringing in a lot of military-aged men into the community. I mean, we're not blind, we're not stupid, we're not obtuse. We know what's going on.
Wants to know, Mike is the real deal. His information is real. He's a humble brother, and he's all about the information. He's not about, personal gain or personal applause, personal credit. This is about our nation. It's not about one individual, but it's about us collectively as a people. And Mike is all about that, So we stand behind the brother 100%.
If you have any doubt, get it out your head immediately. So yeah, I'm going to continue to work with Mike as much as I can. So I want to say thank you, Mike, for actually taking the time out and talk with me and my husband. You definitely informed us on a lot of things. And the people out there that's watching, he will also inform you on a lot of things that you may not even know about. So I want to say thank you again, Mike.
But unfortunately, the people who run this city, they don't care what the people think. So they started putting them into quiet residential neighborhoods like Washington Park, middle-class black neighborhoods. We're still pushing back. We don't want them here. The crime rate has gone up since they've been here. That's a fact. Nobody wants to talk about it, but we live it every day.
What policies would you like to see in place that would limit the amount of people that are there?
Well, listen, there are policies on the book in Congress already. They need to enforce the laws that are already on the books. These people are here illegally. Again, they're not seeking asylum. If they were seeking asylum, they would have gone to the first country that would have granted them asylum, which would have been Mexico. What I would like to see them do, if they're here illegally, they need to go back to their country of origin, and that's immediately. We have no allegiance to these folks, okay? We don't care where they're from.
Does the Democratic platform seem to satisfy your needs as far as what you'd like to see with our immigration policy?
So what platform is that? They don't see.
She said, which platform are you mentioning exactly? Which one is that? And shout out to Christopher. Thank you for throwing something on the Cash App. Appreciate you sliding something in the brown paper bag. And if anybody would like to support independent media, you know what to do. Throw $5 on the Cash App, hit the PayPal. YouTube still got your boy demonetized and shadow banned, but we still going to pump out the content. Thanks again, Christopher.
Brown paper bag. Brown paper bag.
Have a platform. They seem to have open borders. Everybody can come here. Listen, people live in their homes. You have a home or you have an apartment. Do you have a front door on your home?
Yes, I do.
Do you have a back door?
Yes, I do.
Are they locked?
They're locked.
Are you locking because you're racist?
No.
You're locking because?
I'm protecting my 4 children that I have at home.
Exactly. Same thing with our borders, okay? It has nothing to do with racism. We have to protect our sovereignty.
Yep.
We have to protect the citizens here. We have to protect our homeland. And so we have to close those borders.
Absolutely.
By any means necessary. Building a wall is an excellent idea. Look at the DNC convention. They built all kinds of walls of security. They have all kinds of police.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Wait.
The deportation has started.
All right. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Wait. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Wait. Let Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Wait.
Many know about slavery, but few discuss paper genocide. We did not all come from Africa, and most of us have Aboriginal roots that were stripped away due to reclassification and miseducation. As a native Black American and a member of the Muskogee Creek Nation, I understand the importance of tracing your lineage. If you want to learn how to trace your genealogy and apply for tribal citizenship, send an email to mike@keymediapro.com to schedule a consultation.
Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. The mayor of New York, Eric Adams, has already implemented the deportation of immigrants in New York. That includes Africans, that includes Mexicans, Latinos, Asians. So they have already cut off the funding to feed immigrant children, babies. They've already cut that off. He's already implemented that. And there was a conversation that he's already spoken to President-elect Donald Trump. So he is working on this as we speak. But the deportation has already kicked in. And again, this is not just for Mexicans. This is for Africans. This is for Asians. This is for Latinos. If you are in the United States, your ass is getting up out of here. New York, they're starting with you all.
They don't want you to remember this. You not no slave, you indigenous. Fuck how they painted them Indians. You went to war with the French and the British, man. Quite frankly, you was kings, Merovingians. They took the women and men, made them prisoners. Raised up the children to worship their images. Set up a lab to the genes and they mixed them. And this shit get way deeper than your pigment.
My fear is that I'll get deported to a country that I don't know.
Camila Ruilova Bustamante. She came across the border as a 7-month-old baby with her mother and grandmother. 23 years later, she's still not been able to get the paperwork she needs to be legal.
Threat of deportation is imminent.
How frightened are you? What's your fear?
Having been here since I was 7 months old, my biggest fear, I think, would be that my family is torn apart.
We tell her story to voters, Trump voters, just an hour outside of DC to see if there was any empathy for Camilla. And there was some, but not much.
There's going to be sad stories.
She might be among them.
She might be among them. I don't know how it's all going to plan out. I would love to see, like, she came at 7 months old. It's not her fault she was here illegally, you know?
Her mum is with her, by the way, and is also still undocumented.
Her mom should go home at least, at the very least.
Others had left.
Yeah, she said, yeah, at the very least, her mama need to get the hell up out of here. At the very least, mama gotta go. Say bye-bye to mama.
Less empathy.
Send her home. I mean, let her figure out how to get legal. We just got to get control over the border and know who's coming in here.
Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
It was one of the
Hey, it is interesting that we have the descendants of illegal immigrants who colonized and slaughtered the melanated Aboriginals, now centuries later trying to gatekeep the border against a future wave of illegal immigrants. I mean, I just got to call out the paradox, y'all. I just got to call out the paradox. And you know what, guys? I apologize. Shout out to Sounds of Bantu. Sometimes I get my Cash App or PayPal notifications late. Sounds says, just sent you a little something, Mike TV. I appreciate you sliding something in the brown paper bag.
Brown paper bag. Brown paper bag.
It's because of immigration.
Yes. Yes. My family did it the right way. So why not go down the path of actually becoming official?
Mi nombre es Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. My name is
AOC, as she's known, is leading the charge, urging Joe Biden to give temporary protected status to 300,000 undocumented Ecuadorians, many of whom live in her district in New York.
We agree. Being undocumented is a problem. But our solution, instead of turning the military on our own people, is to document them. To document the undocumented.
Hell no, that's not the solution. Hell no. Yeah, people are undocumented, so bitch, no. You sound like a Marxist, fascist, communist. If that's the case, we should just say, there's poor people out there, so we should give them billions of dollars because they're poor. You know, they don't have it, and they should have it. So let's give it to them. That's not the way the world works, ma'am. You got to earn everything you have. You got to fight for it. You got to work for it. We already have an immigration process. I don't care if it takes 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years. If you want to live in America so bad, go through the legal process.
Not so simple. The Immigration Office told us it has nearly 7.8 million immigration cases currently on its books, while other estimates put the total number of undocumented migrants at over 13 million people, a number that's risen sharply under President Biden. And officials told us there are more than 600,000 migrants with either criminal convictions or pending criminal charges.
I am seeing people on here saying that we need to boycott the Mexican restaurants and the taco stands and the fruit trucks. Hold on now. Too much dip on your chip. As an Angelino, it's a way of life for us to patronize these places. But I say, why don't we just celebrate it while we have it, because we might not have it that much longer. That is all. You have 30 minutes. Literally.
This sucks so bad, and I just feel like we really failed our country, and I was like gonna... Wait, oh, okay, maybe not you. Sorry. Did y'all hear about that Latino Trump supporter that just got deported the other day? I mean, Trump just announced the win and people are already getting deported. That's crazy. I just don't know what we're gonna do. My husband's not gonna get that Christmas bonus no more now that the company has to make up for these tariffs, and we're just really bummed out this year. Hey girl, how are you doing? Are you okay? I just want you to know that I see you, I feel you, I hear you, and then I'm here to support you if you need anything. I just wanted you to know that I didn't vote for Trump. Look, I have a blue bracelet. Can I have a hug, please? Oh. Hi, this is a women's organization looking for protesters to come march with us this Saturday. Hey fam, can I hold a 20? The economy's so bad right now, I don't know what to do anymore.
What will happen if ICE approaches you? What should you do? Here's what you need to know. First of all, figure out, are you free to leave? Walk away. Are you free?
You ain't free to go. You ain't even free to be in my country. What makes you think you free to walk away from ICE if they pull up on you? What are you talking? Oh Lord, the sister has good intentions. You know, she's trying to help out these illegals. Bless her little bitty heart. But no, you're not free to leave, and you're not free to stay. So what does that leave you with? Pack up and go home. That's your only option. You have 30 minutes. Attention to all illegals. Attention to all illegals. You have 30 minutes before the mass exodus shall begin.
To leave. If you're free to leave, and you'll know based on certain action that they're present and how aggressive they seem. If they say you're free to leave, then you could say, I don't wish to answer any questions. I'm going to walk away now. You could say that. You can also not run.
Hell no, you can't. Hell no, your illegal ass can't tell ICE you not answer no questions and you gonna walk away. You don't get you gonna get Hey, them ICE agents need to start doing the migrants how they did Rodney King, okay? That's all I'm gonna say about that matter, all right?
Ever run away from a law enforcement official. ICE is law enforcement. They have guns, okay? Do not run away from any of them. If they say, no, you're not free to leave, well, then you should know that they have targeted you for a reason, because they know about you and they know that you are you, and they're going to bring you in for fingerprinting or maybe detention. So if they want to detain you at that point, you have the right to remain silent and not answer any questions there on the street. You have a right to remain silent, and you could ask for an attorney when you go down to their field office. And then that attorney can help you sort through various next steps. Don't ever run away from them.
All right, what's up, my social family? My name is Dominique Moore. I am the founder of House of Literature. So I want to address the lack of diversity in the southern part of Florida. I am a Miami-Dade native. I've been here for 21, nearly 22 years of my life. I've navigated throughout the entire southernmost part of Florida. Just to give some context. So growing up, there was a high population of Black American people. I remember cookouts. I remember different things that, you know, events that were important to our culture. Here I stand at nearly 22 years old, and it seems like I do not see any Black American people anymore. Almost, it seems like we're being washed out. Like, and in the part of Southern Florida that I'm in, there's supposed to be, in the parts that I frequent, there's supposed to be an influx and a constant level or population of Black American people, and there aren't. There's been 2 instances where I've gone to an establishment and the entire staff has been made up of Spanish-speaking Hispanic people. Now, my disdain is not for Hispanic people, because I absolutely see myself dating mixed race people. Like, I don't have no disdain for Hispanic people. My disdain comes from the lack of diversity. Where the fuck are we? Where's the Black people? Where's the diversity? Where? And this is important to address because it's like, we all know about slavery. We all know, like, all of these things. It's like, when are Black people going to get a break? And more so, it's like, how are we as Black people who were enslaved and who was taken over to the U.S. Without consent? How are we?
Whoa. Wait a minute now, honey boo boo child. We trace our genealogy. Most of us have Aboriginal roots. You can miss me with that false transatlantic slave trade narrative. Less than 4% of the African slaves even came to the 13 colonies. Most of us are native to the soil. So yeah, I just had to correct the error of her ways there. Can't have her spouting misinformation on my channel now, okay? We run a tight ship.
Once again, being washed out by a group of people who are not native to the U.S. and whose population numbers have overgrown the native people of the U.S. That is where the disdain is coming from. And you know, when you listen to this, of course, take it with a grain of salt. But that's just my whole, you know, commentary on the whole situation. I've heard Madison Hinton address it.
Yeah, no, hold on, honey boo boo child. You was throwing too much salt in the game there towards the end. You was throwing too much salt in the game. We got to correct it a little bit. Maybe she hasn't heard of NativeBlackAncestry.com. Guys, go to NativeBlackAncestry.com to get further historical context of the rich history and legacy of the melanated Aboriginals of all of the Americas, of which we descend from, as well as access to my genealogy services. But right here on the home page, I show you guys the get down. I mean, we are victims of paper genocide. They've been reclassifying us for hundreds and hundreds of years. In 1492, they started calling us Indian. 1682, we become Negro. 1851, we become colored. 1960, we become Black. 1988, we become African American. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. Let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it.
And y'all ate her up for it. I've heard other TikTok users address it, and y'all always seem to eat people up for it. But to quote that girl, I can't remember. I'm going to say it because I'm not too scared to say it, and I'm not going to get no whooping. Where are the Black people in southern part of U.S.? And more so, where are the Black people in the entire U.S.? Like, where are we? Again, my name is Dominique Moore. I am the founder of House of Literature, and I will see you soon.
This woman just went ham on the mayor of Chicago, y'all, and I felt it in my spirit.
Good morning. I'm sure everybody knows about a movie, Scarface, right? It's a classic, Al Pacino, right? Everybody knows about that movie. And we focus on the famous lines in that movie. You know, the acting and the hello to my little friend and all that. But it's the beginning of that movie that matters. When those words are coming up on that screen, That's what matters. And those words say, in May 1980, Fidel Castro opened the harbor at Muriel, Cuba, with the apparent intention of letting some of his people join their relatives in the United States. Within 72 hours, 3,000 U.S. boats were headed for Cuba. It soon became evident that Castro was forcing the boat owners to carry back with them not only their relatives, but the dregs of his jails. Of that 125,000 refugees that landed in Florida, an estimated 25,000 had criminal records.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's up. That's what has happened in the United States right now. All this asylum-seeking lie, all this about refugees, no. What's happening is they're emptying out the dregs of their jails into the United States, into our communities. They're junking up our country. And yeah, we feel some kind of way about it because it's our country. That's right. It's our country. People like Vasquez and them, look how disrespectful they are. Now you just gave that man a resolution for his father's restaurant. And every time we get up and talk, he's working this room. Look at him. Look at him. But he wants his resolution for his father to be respected. Vasquez, Lopez, all them want their people to be respected, but they can't even give us the dignity for what we built, but them. Ain't no question about it. Yeah, Black History Month, the American descendants of slavery. And I want you to know, Brandon Johnson, I understand what Breakmore's saying about we still on the plantation, but what you're looking at right now, this is what a free Negro look like. And I'm telling you, we're going to get our city back, we're going to stand for our people, we're going to get them out of our communities because they don't deserve to be there. Anytime they can't give us 3 lousy minutes of their attention while we sit here and watch y'all give them all kind of money, you watch us. We black out here, all right. And we gonna handle our business. Woman. You watch that. I'm a free black woman. All right. This how we get that.
Huh? On everything, boy. For real. Now we tired of y'all running over us, taking our kindness for weakness, doing us all type of this type of way, and think that we gonna continue and not say nothing and watch y'all just run over us. Don't pay us nothing. Give everything to everybody else and watch us as us help build y'all country and build y'all companies and work for y'all like we modern day slaves. That ain't what we gonna do. We're tired. We're tired of all of the games. We're tired of all of the BS. We're tired of y'all not giving us what we actually deserve and fought for. Y'all playing the games with the writing in the Constitution, all that, you know what I'm saying? And you know what, y'all? It's time to be exposed. Y'all, it's time to get y'all exposed and get y'all up out of here. And we don't care if you black, white, yellow, green, whatever. If you are against us, you gotta go.
Yeah, I agree. I concur. I co-sign and support that message wholeheartedly. If you ain't with us, then you're against us. And if you're against us, you got to go. It's really that simple. I'm tired of seeing y'all walking through in droves right through the U.S.-Mexico border. It's so unsettling. It reminds me of like any of the run-of-the-mill cliche apocalypse zombie films. I mean, I just feel like we got a wave of zombies heading our way and they're trying to infect everything they see.
The 22-year-old migrant from the Republic of Congo is facing sex abuse charges allegedly involving an employee of the agency providing services to migrants. The 22-year-old came to Cheektowaga on a bus from New York City. District Attorney John Flynn says Kindo Jansi is accused of committing an act of sexual misconduct against a female employee of that healthcare service provider hired to help the asylum seekers.
Tonight, a migrant has been charged with raping a 15-year-old disabled girl at a Rockland hotel. The case already sparking outcry from local leaders. WBZ's Brandon Truitt is live in Rockland with what was revealed in court today. Brandon?
Well, Chris, the state started booking out all of the rooms in this hotel last year as a part of its emergency assistance shelter program. And authorities have confirmed to us that both the victim and suspect in this case lived here.
I'm a patron. I don't know if he's a manager or National Guard on the 911 line, 850 Hingham Street. It's going to be for the migrant section.
It was around 7 Wednesday night. Police records show a front desk worker called 911, reporting a 15-year-old disabled girl had been sexually assaulted.
Room 115. Meet the police. EMS response.
Police say they met the teenager in the lobby using...
And guys, real quick, special announcement. This is not for the new viewers. This is for the long-term viewers. Just so you guys know, all Cash App and PayPal contributions over the next 2 to 3 weeks are going to go towards me putting together a special presentation for you all. I've recently traveled to Indian Territory, the state of Oklahoma. You guys know I'm a Muskogee Creek Indian, and they actually have a Freedmen Museum out here in Oklahoma, as well as Black Wall Street, some great historical sites. So all contributions made to the platform are going to directly fund me going to some of these historical sites and filming some exclusive footage for you all, since not everybody has the means to travel to Oklahoma. But while I am here, I'm going to provide you guys with as much access as possible.
Translator, she told authorities a man in the hotel brought her to his room to help her with an app on her tablet. Once there, he began having sex with her, the girl explained. According to the police report, the girl asked the man to leave her alone, but says that he wouldn't stop. She was ultimately taken to the hospital. Using a description of the man, police found their suspect in the room where the alleged rape happened. With enough evidence, police say they arrested 26-year-old Corey Alvarez. He was formally charged with rape of a child in Hingham District Court Thursday. Authorities say Alvarez moved here from Haiti and is part of the migrant system. Republican State Representative David DeCoste serves this district and says, "I'm absolutely appalled by the incident that took place in Rockland. Above all, my heartfelt sympathies extend to the young girl who has reportedly been subjected to abuse. The Commonwealth has failed this young girl." We have reached out to the governor's office multiple times for this report, as well as the state agency that's over the migrant shelter program. We have not heard back. Alvarez, meantime, was held without bail. He has another court date next week. Live in Rockland, Brandon Truitt, WBZ News.
All right, Brandon, thank you.
Erica, the district attorney, says he was blindsided by this move. As you mentioned, that suspect was supposed to be in this courthouse behind us earlier today, but he was a no-show. Prosecutors say that they do intend to continue prosecuting this rape case, though. The suspect is a migrant from Haiti accused of raping a 15-year-old at a Rockland hotel that was being used as an emergency shelter. Corey Alvarez, as we mentioned, was supposed to be back in court today, but he was a no-show. Prosecutors still trying to collect his DNA. Before the hearing, he was picked up by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Now, immigration officials say the state court refused to honor an immigration detainer before Alvarez was released on $500 bail. That was in late June. The DA says his office had no warning that ICE would move in today.
When something like this happens and nobody knows about it until after the fact, it's very disappointing. And you have to ask yourself, why? Why is there such a lack of transparency between state, federal agencies? Why isn't there better communication?
The director of enforcement and removal operations in Boston says in a statement, "We cannot allow any significant non-citizen threat to the children of our communities to potentially reoffend. ERO Boston will continue to prioritize public safety by arresting and removing egregious non-citizen offenders from New England." Now, the statement goes on to say that immigration officials will cooperate with the state courts. The next hearing in this case is scheduled for next week. We're live in Brockton. John Atwater, WCVB News Center 5.
Clark County Communications.
Yes, ma'am. I got a question. This is a non-emergency line, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm sitting here. I'm riding on the trail going to my orientation for my job today. And I see a group of Haitian people. There was about 4 of them. They all had geese in their hand. They got away. I couldn't make out the first three of the license plate, but I got the numbers.
Clark County Communications.
Yes, ma'am. I got a question. This is a non-emergency line, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm sitting here. I'm riding on the trail going to my orientation for my job today, and I see a group of Haitian people. There was about 4 of them. They all had geese in their hand. They got away. I couldn't make out the first 3 of the license plate, but I got the numbers.
They don't want you to remember this. You not no slave, you indigenous. Fuck how they painted them Indians. You went to war with the French and the British men. Quite frankly, you was kings, Merovingians. They took the women and men, made them prisoners. Raised up the children to worship their images. Set up a lab to the genes and they mixed them. And this shit get way deeper than your pigment.